Everybody please get chic now and happy time. Put your hands 今一つになろうぜ
Sweet. The lead is dead. Excellent execution in sparing me an animator review. Well done, 5 out of 7, best anime of all time. Or not.
We've placed your consciousness inside of Birdy's body until yours can be reconstructed. Her body is preserving your life. Birdy is not inside of you, Tsutomu. You are inside of her.
Well, it's good to find out that aliens have conveniently advanced psychobiological medical technology, even if it came at the cost of forgetting how to back up a hard drive.
I'm afraid I've been damaged beyond repair.
In all fairness, I can see how it happens. It's like how I forgot about the filler episode where the super strong, super fast grill that can jump over trains can't catch up to the bitch he taught on crutches for 20 minutes.
Well, she is pretty good with those crutches.
Yeah, they certainly don't slow her down much.
Clearly, Birdy the Mighty Decode has some problems with being believable, but its greatest weakness is in its storytelling. Way too much time is expended on boring exposition to explain the boring sci-fi premise, which is genuinely perplexing because everything that is told to the audience is later showed to them. This begs the question, why bother with the boring dialogue rather than reorganize the story? Birdy also has this bad habit in Season 2 of cutting to the irrelevant side cast during major sequences for no other reason than to make sure that they hit runtime. Fortunately, the design team wasn't completely talentless and managed to squeeze some compelling tidbits into their presentation. At several points, the audience is told the important information that the characters do not know. This creates a sense of drama for the viewer, as the main cast struggles to find out the truth. Also, they did somehow manage to maturely handle the concept of the dude inhabiting the babe's body. Speaking of this Tsutomu feller, I dub him based, not Shinji Ikari, whiny bitch. They implemented a great idea in having the aliens sympathize with Tsutomu's grievances. This lack of authoritarian presence allows Tsutomu to understand how his decisions could help people on a personal level, and it helps him to develop into a more interesting and relatable person. Unfortunately, they decide to throw this concept to the wind in Season 2, in favor of making Tsutomu a mouthpiece so that the creative team can show us how smart that they think they are. Tsutomu may be the character that the audience follows and is supposed to relate to, but Birdy is the all-star. She comes from a unique background of being raised by many surrogate parents and being shunned by a majority of people that come in contact with her. This in conjunction with her airheaded personality makes her a very endearing fish out of water.
I'm a police officer with the Space Federation. I came to Earth in pursuit of dangerous fugitives.
What are you doing?
You see, this whole modeling gig is just a side job. I'm really a super secret agent with an alien police force.
She has a human cover as a bubbly model, which initially seems like it is a blatant ploy for fan service. Which it is. But it's used to introduce a compelling dynamic. Birdy is a physically strong and excitable super alien, and she is honestly the most masculine character in the show despite her appearance. She is an aggressive, boisterous, and violent risk-taker. These traits are coveted in her role as an intergalactic police officer, so they would have been fostered in her training and personal development. When she is disguised as Shion Arita, she is allowed to and expected to explore a feminine side for perhaps the first time in her life. The consequence of this dynamic is that the audience gets the badass grill that gets shit done while still being effeminate and attractive. The most compelling aspect of Birdy the Mighty from a character perspective is the relationship between Tsutomu and Birdy. Their intimate living situation is unique and forces them to trust each other while becoming close friends in spite of themselves.
Do what I tell you to, okay? You trust me, don't you? Now I want you to charge at her! What?
The dynamic becomes particularly engaging when one of them becomes privy to information that would hurt the other and struggle to resolve the situation. The supporting cast, on the other hand, is extremely lackluster. Too many of them are of little to no consequence to the story. So is this lady not just a cunt that's taking all of Birdy's modeling money? You gonna find out about that 1,000-year debt thing? No? Okay. Why are his classmates even included? The creators would have been better served developing a few and scrapping the rest. The only compelling side character is Sayaka, the quiet rich girl that gets Tsutomu all hot and bothered. Interestingly, the most the audience learns about her comes from the musical score. The track with her namesake plays nearly every time that she is on screen, and it illuminates a quiet longing for acceptance and love, as well as a pure and straightforward approach to life. Good thing that they got something right, because they immediately confuse the concept by revealing that her personality has changed dramatically, without providing the audience with any first-hand context as to how she might have changed. And no, complaints for the maid-chan do not qualify! What is up with the antagonist's motivations making little to no coherent sense? Guy, they're crazies! or the creators got lazy. Lucy Christian is a super genius. She provides an unforgettable performance as Birdy, so much so that I'm writing the Japanese dub off. But guy, that's not fair. Just because Lucy showed up doesn't mean you should be writing the Japanese dub off. Look, when a language dub, English or Japanese, has an all-star performance, why would you look further? You have found the promised land. Utopia has been fulfilled. The gates of heaven have opened and are beckoning you in. Just enjoy it. I could be wrong now, but I don't think so. Lucy Christian provides a fun, spunky, energetic, and versatile performance. Her wide vocal range is utilized well as she plays an authoritative, if silly space officer, a girly model, and a young girl convincingly. She is able to provide the most endearing balance of enthusiastic and derpy that I have witnessed to date.
No way I can pay for all the food you eat on my allowance.
But I'll be fine. I have plenty of food on my spaceship. But it's not as tasty as white rice is!
Side note here, but having Shion Arita and Mini Birdy doing the episode previews was based pandering. Micah Solostud Micah Solostud is convincing as Tsutomu and accurately adjusts his performance in Season 2 as Tsutomu becomes a mouthpiece for the creative team. As much as the sidecast did not add anything to the story, their vocal performances were earnest. Brina Palencia, Jeremy Lee, and Eric Vale were particularly notable as Sayaka, Natsumi, and Nataru, respectively. Job well done to Chris Kaysen for directing a well-rounded dub with little, if any, detracting elements. The openings and endings of Birdy effectively implement a standard structure of bringing excitement and hype in the opening, and slowing down the action while creating a sense of longing for more content with the ending. Where it is not inherently a positive or a negative, it is worth noting that a choice was made to use busy soundtracks, particularly in Season 1, during scenes containing dialogue. The primary consequence of this choice is that the vocal cast must perform more loudly than normal, as well as harmonize with the music. A wide array of instrumentation and melody is used to great effect to portray the manic story of Birdy. The styles of music employed include J-pop, classical, jazz, and even some electronic tracks while still sounding stylistically Birdy. There's distinct tonal shift during Season 2, which the musical score matches masterfully. Hats off to Yuko Kanno. The animation of Birdy is polarizing to say the least. On one hand, it contains some of the best, most ambitious fight choreography of any anime production ever. On the other hand, they did not have the resources or talent to realize it. During some of the combat sequences, the presentation devolves into what I can only describe as shapes. It becomes confusing to even discern where the fight is taking place at times. During some flashback sequences, they take advantage of their shortcomings by adding a cool stylistic flair to their project, which I wish that they used more of. Some interesting choices were made from a planning and cinematography standpoint that were successful in instilling both humor and intensity. Birdy the Mighty Decode is a show that does a lot right and it does a lot wrong. It earns itself a 6 out of 10. Drop a thumb and subscribe because I need outside affirmation to assign value to myself.